So the objectives model is behaviourist in style. It has clear learning objectives and states what a student can achieve at the end of the learning. So that might be at the end of a unit, that could be at the end of a course, or it might be at the end of their education system. Assessment is always based on those learning objectives. So whenever you're trying to match what the student has achieved and what they've learnt, they've got to demonstrate that by showing or demonstrating that learning objective. So that could be that they have learnt something and they're writing an essay to match that particular learning objective, or it might be that they demonstrate a particular skill and then you're assessing them on that particular learning objective. You can also differentiate those learning objectives. So you can make sure that they're pass, merit and distinction criteria that the student has to meet to then be able to achieve those, or it could just be down to these individual students. So most students will be able to achieve this, some students will be able to achieve this, and all students will be able to achieve this. So it gives you an idea of how you can structure your learning for your students and assess them at different levels for effectively the same particular learning outcome. So Tyler, who developed this particular model, actually built his model around 4 fundamental questions. The first question is, what are your curriculum aims and objectives? So really thinking about, what is this curriculum for? Why does it work? How does it fit together? What are the whole purpose of doing this particular curriculum? So the second question is, which learning experiences meet these aims and objectives? So again, looking at that particular learning objectives, you're straight away thinking about what the experiences the students will do to make sure they are able to achieve those particular aims and objectives of your curriculum. The third question is, how can these learning experiences be organised into a curriculum programme? So really thinking about how you're structuring your particular curriculum. Do you break it down into units? Are there modules? Is it just one particular learning outcome for the whole course? So how are you actually going to structure those? And thinking about how that fits across a year. Maybe that's a unit, maybe that's a actual academic year, or that could be across the whole course. And then final question is, how can this programme be evaluated? So really thinking about, where can you actually have that quality assurance process? How can you evaluate whether it's been effective? How can you put a process to improve it in the future? So Tyler's model is really thinking about those 4 fundamental questions, and once you can answer all those 4, then your curriculum would be ready to be delivered to students. Overall, within the objectives model, the students are actually a very passive role within this particular curriculum design model. It's very limited about what impact they can have of actually changing those aims and objectives. It might decide whether they want to go for a pass, merit and distinction, and that might be the only flexibility a student will have within those, but generally they are taking a very passive role within that curriculum design.